channel. I am very excited about today's video because we are doing another 5 looks, 1 palette video, and I know you guys love those. So I'm very excited because I love giving you guys inspiration to work with some palettes that you already have. I don't think I've ever told you this, but the reasoning behind me coming up with the idea to make these videos into a series is that I myself don't think that I use my palettes enough. So I wanted to find different ways that I could use my palette, and in turn find different ways that you guys can use your palettes to kind of give you ideas to combine colors together and get more use out of what we have, because there are so many palettes that come out every week basically, that I feel like some of the ones that we decide to purchase need as much love as we can give them. From the title, of course, you know that I'll be using the Through My Eyes palette by Colourpop and ILUVSARAHI. This palette was $23 and I am very excited to be playing with it and coming out with different looks that we can do together with this palette. If you're new to my channel, my name is Patty and I would love it if you subscribe. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button so that you are here for the next 5 looks 1 palette video and other videos that I upload in between. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, guys, before you leave. It really helps my channel grow when you guys do that. And let me know what you thought of my looks in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you guys want to see up-close shots of looks like this one, make sure you're following me on Instagram. The handle is @PattyCAlonso, the way it's spelled right here. And that is also the handle for Twitter and Snapchat if you guys want to add me there. I'm not going to make this intro super long because I have 5 looks in this video and I don't want this video to be a million years long. So let's not ramble any longer and let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of primer to my eye. This is my favorite primer, is the Makeup Forever Step 1 primer, and I'm just lightly tapping it into my eyelid. I love this primer because it makes everything very smooth and everything goes on top of it amazingly. This is the only clip of this I'm going to show you because I do the same thing all 5 times. For the first look, I'm starting by adding a transition shade. I am using Sandalwood as a transition, and the brush I'm using is the M504 by Morphe. Any big, soft, fluffy brush that you have at home will help. And you just want to do windshield wiper motions back and forth in order to make this product as opaque as you want it. I'm then switching to the color Wild Soul with my Morphe M504, and this color is a really nice vibrant yellow, and I'm using it in the same way a little bit on the outer corner of my eye as well, so that it transitions into my eyelid really nicely. And as you can see, I'm just doing back and forth windshield wiper motions, just little tapping motions to diffuse the color until I don't see any more lines. And then I am going to switch my brush. This is the Sephora Collection number 10 brush, which is also a very soft, fluffy brush. And I got the color Misbehave, which is a beautiful, like, pinky, corally shade. And I am, as you see, doing little circles around the outer corner of my eyelid to make this color blend into the yellow shade that we have put on before very seamlessly. And you just want to keep adding product to build up the intensity and make sure you soften all of the edges. I went back with a little bit more Wild Soul because I wanted to make sure we didn't blend this color away. I want the yellow to be nice and vibrant. I then switched my brush to my Sigma E38, which is a small diffuser brush, and I grabbed the color Divina, which is a beautiful, deep, like, burgundy shade. So cool. This is the darkest color in this palette, by the way, so I use it for a lot of the looks. As you can see, I'm putting a little bit right underneath my eye, and I'm just adding it mainly to the outer corner of my eyelid, blending it slightly into the crease just to darken up that outer corner a little bit and give the eye some depth and some dimension. I then grabbed my Morphe M432, which is a flat concealer brush, and my Fenty concealer to cut out half of the crease of my eye. And I made this part of the clip go a little faster because it honestly takes me forever to do this, and I wanted to show you guys the whole process. Even when you think it looks very messy like it does right now, just keep going because you can always tap it out for it to look smooth, and you can always perfect the edges. So I'm tapping it out with my finger now just to make sure that it's a nice smooth base. And then we're going to go ahead and start applying things over it. This is a Carity E28 brush and the color Lucido, and I'm lightly tapping it all over the part that I carved out with concealer and taking it all the way to the edge, although we are going to make this blend very nicely into that outer part right there, even though right now it looks kind of rough. So I'm going back to the Sigma E38 and the color Divina, and I'm tapping it on the outer corner to intensify the shade and also to start blurring that line that we created with the concealer there. I'm grabbing a smaller fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M433 and the color Misbehave, and I'm just tapping it lightly over that shiny color that we have on the outer half of the eyelid there, just to create a smooth, nice transition between the colors Divina and the color Lucido. Then I grab the color Lomo with my finger and I'm tapping it right in the center of the eyelid to finalize creating that illusion of the gradient effect from inner to outer corner. I wanted a tight lined effect with a color that would match the look, so I went back with the color Divina and the thinnest brush I could find, and I wet it with some setting spray, and as you can see I did the thinnest little line that I could do, and it's not perfect, but I wanted to tap it out so that it would look smoky, so that is perfectly okay. For the under eyes, I started with the darkest color, so I'm using the color Divina with my Sigma E38 brush, and I'm applying it very, very close to my lower lash line, intensifying that color as much as I could so that it would look as intense as the color at the top of the eye. When I finished that, I went back with my Morphe M433, which is a nice fluffy brush, and the color Misbehave, and I smoked out the color Divina with that one, again to give it that same look that we wanted to achieve on the crease basically of the eye. We're trying to do the same thing at the bottom, and so of course we finished it up with the color Wild Soul, that nice yellowy color to finish up our little sunset eye. And I am smoking it out underneath my eye. As you can see, I didn't try to use a smaller brush or anything. I left it quite dramatic. I applied my Roller Lash mascara and the Kat Von D lash liner in the waterline of my eye. And then finally, I'm using Lucido in the inner corner to just kind of connect the inner corner to the under eye area. The lashes I'm using all throughout this video for any of the looks that have lashes on are the Lily lashes in Atlanta, and I'm putting them on here for you. Alright, so here is look number 1. I had so much fun creating this one. I love sunsetty eyes, and that peach color in the middle really brought it all together. This look is, I think, for sure one of my favorites. Okay, so let's get started with look number 2. I'm using the fluffy number 10 brush from Sephora collection with the color Euphoric, and I'm going back and forth. Because I didn't use a lighter transition shade, this one is all about just keeping on blending. It took me a while to get it to look as blended as I got it to look, so just make sure you keep going back and forth and adding the color little by little until you get a very nice smooth transition. You know, be persistent, just make sure that there are no harsh lines while you're in that process. I'm then switching to a smaller blending brush. This one is the Sigma E38 and the color Divina one more time. And I'm starting by putting this color on the outer corner of the eye and slightly blending it into the crease and building up the shade. This is going to be a halo eye, so as you can see, I'm doing the same thing to the inner corner of the eye, and then I'm starting to kind of make a bridge on the crease so that the colors can meet at the top. So as you can see, I'm adding the color little by little and making sure that it blends and that it doesn't look blotchy or anything like that. Please take your time so that it looks nice and blended. You don't want to see any blotchiness, you don't want to see any harsh lines. I also went ahead and transitioned the color Divina into my lower lash line. And then I went back to my number 10 brush from Sephora collection and the color Euphoric to make sure that it blended nicely on the crease of the eye, because I still saw a little bit of blotchiness left, so I went back to diffuse that one. With eyeshadow, you can't be afraid to repeat steps. As you can see here, I went back with Divina and intensified the outer and inner corner now that the crease was blended out nicely. With my finger and the color Flex, I went ahead and started tapping in the center of the eyelid. This is a really nice pewtery color, very, very shimmery, and it added really nice light to the center of the eyelid. It made this look really come to life. I also tapped a little bit of the color Lucid right in the middle to give it a little bit more lightness and a little bit more sparkle. Under my eyes, I started with the color Divina and my same Sigma brush that I've been using and smoked that one out right underneath the eyes. And then with the color Euphoric and the Sephora Collection number 10 brush, I made sure to smoke out that color Divina and ensure a really nice smoky effect. With none of these looks was I a little bit reserved underneath my eyes. I've been actually really enjoying a very smoked down lower lash line, so that's what I've been rocking. My last step was to grab my Sephora Collection number 18 brush and the color Lucido and put that one right in the inner corner of the eye to give the inner corner a little bit more light. I then went ahead and grabbed a skin-like liner and I put it right in the waterline of my eye. This looks so creepy, I'm sorry. Same pair of lily lashes, different look. Here you see me just kind of putting it right on the lid, very close to the lash line. And you guys, this is look number 2. My favorite thing about this one is that it's very like nighttime, very sultry, very smoky, and it literally took 4 colors. Like usually it takes a lot more than 4 colors to achieve a look like this, but yeah, I'm very happy with it. I really loved it. I feel like this could be a nice like night out look or a party look. Not that I go to any of those, but yeah. Let's get started with look number 3. As you can see, I'm grabbing my number 10 brush from Sephora Collection and the color Euphoric, and I am doing my windshield wiper motions, just making sure nothing is smudged or streaky or any of that, so just keep going. I'm grabbing the color Sandalwood with that same brush, and I'm going back to make sure that everything looks nice and smooth. This is the look where we use the green colors in the palette. So as you can see, I'm grabbing the color Moody with my Sigma E38 brush. I love this brush so much. And I'm tapping that color on the outer corner of the eye, slightly blending it into the color Euphoric on the crease, and I'm putting a little bit underneath the eye as well. And I'm just building up by tapping and doing little circles and just making sure that everything looks smooth. And that the colors transition well into one another. Similar to what we did with look number 1, I'm grabbing my Morphe M432 brush and I am adding concealer, the Fenty concealer once again, to cut the crease of my eyelid, and I'm putting it on the first like 2/3 of the eyelid as well. Next, with my Sephora Collection number 15 brush in the color Mesmerized, I wet the brush first so that the color would go on very pigmented and it wouldn't fly all over like it happened in the review video. And I'm tapping that color everywhere where I put concealer basically. So the first 2/3 of the eyelid, I'm tapping the color in with the wet brush so that it looks very intense, very pigmented, very metallic. With my ring finger, I grab the color Emerald Dream and I'm tapping that one right in between the outer corner and that color that we just applied as a very nice transition. I think this is my favorite thing about this look, how this color ties the gold metallic into the nice olive green on the outer corner. As you can see, I'm intensifying Moody here so that we don't lose it under the other colors, and it remains a very opaque green basically. I went ahead and added Moody to my lower lash line as well to smoke out that green underneath the eye. And to smoke out my lower lash line, I'm using my Sephora Collection number 10 brush and the color Euphoric. I am building it up slowly so that it transitions well with the green because they're kind of opposite colors, and it was a little bit hard to blend them, but we got it done. So if I can do it, you can do it. I applied waterline eyeliner, some mascara, and once again my lily lashes, and then the last step is with my number 18 brush. I added the color Lucido once again to the inner corner of the eye, and that is look number 3. Here it is. A bunch of you guys have been asking me for this one because this is what I was wearing in my last video, so I hope you guys recreate it and tag me on Instagram. Obviously, you don't have to use this palette, just find similar colors in other palettes that you already have if you don't own this one. But show me your looks, guys. If you ever recreate any one of my looks, I would love to see them. So if you post them on Instagram, please tag me. Okay guys, so let's get started with look number 4, and I am blending Wild Soul to the crease of my eye. I am smoking it out real nicely, very high, and putting it also on the outer corner. I love this vibrant yellow. This is one of my favorite colors in the palette for sure. I'm then grabbing the color Euphoric one more time. I feel like I've used this one a lot too. This is my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm building the color Euphoric from the outer corner on, and adding a little bit more at a time as needed to build up the intensity of this color. I went back with my number 10 brush from Sephora collection that I used to apply Wild Soul to make sure that there was no blotchiness on the crease of the eye. I then went in with the color Canela and the same Morphe brush, and I added this one to the outer corner of my eye to deepen up that outer corner a little bit more. I would say this is like the one color in this palette that I don't love. It did work really nicely to deepen up this look, and I ended up loving the look, but it has a little bit of like flecky like sparkles in it, and I don't get it. I would rather it be a fully matte color than to have these random sparkles all over. Other than that though, it is a really pretty shade. Next, I grabbed my Sephora collection number 15 brush and the color Muse, which is a really pretty gold shade, and I am putting it all throughout my eyelid, 2/3 of the way in. And I wanted to intensify it a little bit more, so I sprayed the brush with a little bit of setting spray, and I made the color look a little bit more intense and more metallic going on the eyelid by doing this. I grabbed my fluffy Morphe brush and the color Euphoric, and I smoked it right underneath my lower lash line to mimic what we did at the top one more time. So I went in with the color Wild Soul afterwards, afterwards, and my number 10 brush from Sephora collection, and mimicked the same intensity at the top. Lastly, with the color Lucido and my number 18 brush from Sephora collection, I put this one in the inner corner to tie the bottom and top of the eye in the inner corner. And the last step to this look was to apply this red eyeliner from Marc Jacobs, again, very creepy eye right there, to the waterline of my eye. And it gave me the prettiest effect. I loved the way that eyeliner looked in the waterline. It definitely made this look stand out a lot more than it would have without it. So this is look number 4. We have one more to go. Did I leave the best for last? You'll have to find out. Look number 4 starts with me applying Sandalwood as a transition color all over the crease of my eye. And for this, I'm using my very fluffy, very soft Sephora collection number 10 brush one more time. I'm building up the crease and deepening it up a little bit with that same brush and the color Nostalgia. This is a nice like blushy pink color, and as you can see, it adds a little bit more depth to the eye. I then jump to the color Misbehave, which is a bit of a more intense pink shade, and with that same brush, I'm applying it, building it up, starting from the outer corner into the crease and blending it forward slowly. For my eyelid, I'm using the number 15 brush from Sephora collection and the color Nocturne, and I'm building it up. I decided to wet it once again so that it would look a little bit more intense and more metallic, and you can see how much that changed the color and how much prettier it looks. I love doing that to eyeshadows. I highly recommend it. With my Sigma number E38, once again, I grabbed the color Divina because I wanted to make this into a little bit more of an intense look. I was thinking it looked a little bit too plain at first. So you can see me tapping the color Divina little by little and adding intensity to this eye look. In the inner corner, I used the color Lucido, and I applied it with my Sephora number 18 brush initially, but then I thought I wanted to do a little bit more with it, so I wet the color and I grabbed my teeny tiny lip brush from Sephora collection, and I spread the color kind of like if it was a cut crease, but like not really, because I wanted to smoke it down so that it would blend into the color Nocturne. So you can see here, I'm just kind of tapping and making sure it's diffused down. So I wanted it to have a little bit of an edge at the top, but it to blend into the eyelid color better. To smoke out my lower lash line, I used the color Divina with my Sigma brush. Besides the fact that I love this color and the way it looks on me, there really wasn't another very dark color in the palette that I could use for things like this, which is why I used it as much as I did. To smoke it out this time, I used the color Nostalgia, which is that blushy color I told you guys about before, and because they're kind of in the same color family, it diffused it seamlessly. So I'm using the number 10 brush from Sephora collection because, like I said before, I don't care if it's very, very wide underneath the eye. I am going for that look. And this is the final look. To be honest, this was not the best that I left for last. This is kind of like the most boring one, but I really like it because I love pinky shades like this one. Besides that, I definitely think that this was the most wearable look that I did, the more like daytime one per se. Alright guys, and with this last look, we've gotten to the end of this video. Thank you so much if you stuck till the end. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really means the world to me when you guys do that. It really helps my channel grow. Please let me know in the comments down below from 1 to 5 which look was your favorite one. I think I definitely liked number 1 the best and number 3 the second best. I loved those, and my favorite thing about number 3 is that green is very out of my comfort zone, but in that look it really showed up absolutely beautiful. You guys liked it because I posted a video before this one where I was wearing that look because I filmed them the same day, and everybody in the comment section was asking me about the eye look. So obviously here is the video for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget guys to follow my Instagram if you want to see any like up close shots of any of these looks that I did, because I am taking pictures and posting them over there so that you guys can see all the looks in detail. I also did a little Insta video, which I'm not comfortable doing those, but I definitely want to do more of those. So leave me some love on Instagram, see how you guys like the looks over there as well. Also, if this is the first video you watch of me, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. It means the world to me if you hit that red subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye! I forgot to mention, if you watched my first impressions on the Through My Eyes palettes, which I'll link up here on this little eye, I did not swatch the lipstick dual sets. I was saving it for this video because I told you guys it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but here it is. This is the swatch of it, so I hope you guys enjoyed it.